beautiful people. This video is all about perception programs. So all life, all animals, all life that's ever been discovered, all of us human beings, we all live in two states of being. We live in survival or we live in creation. So in survival, that's for us, it's the fight or flight nervous system. It's the predictable patterns of behavior that we use to try and process pain, to try and get love. And then, sorry, just got the dog in the car and she's setting off an alarm. And then we also live in creation, and this is like where we express who we are. We experience, joy and connection and sorrow and challenges each day. And it could be looked at as homeostasis. So if we're talking about cells, single cells in your body, and you place them in a petri dish, you can place food in that petri dish and the cells will migrate to that side. They are taking in nutrients and breaking them down to use as energy and building blocks, or something threatening that you place in that petri dish, the cells will move away from it. Okay? Something hostile to those cells, they will move away from it. But you cannot live in both states of being at the same time. Just as the cells can't be open to express life and take in nutrients, and in the protective mechanism, the survival mechanism. So this is the first step. My mentor, the gift he gave me and where we started on the road to cure depression and to heal and to create a better life and to learn how to speak my truth and own it and experience a lot of love and gratitude each day, was we've got to have awareness of these two states of being. Now, most of these perception programs are set up young, very, very young. And that is because children, when they're born, the analytical mind hasn't formed yet. And so babies, when they're born, they're in a different brainwave signature. They're living in delta. And in this early stage, everything that is said by the parents and the family and people in the environment of the child, the analytical mind isn't there yet. They're in this dreamlike state. That's what delta is. And everything that's said goes straight into the subconscious. So it could be, you're not as good looking as your sister, you're not worthy of that, or you don't deserve A, B, and C. You can't, you can't have a career as a pianist or whatever. All of these statements that come from our environment, from our family, parents, etc., are planted straight into the subconscious mind. And that is now a program. That is a perception program that is beyond conscious awareness, because it's the subconscious mind. That's what it means. Neuroscience tells us that 95 to 99% of our day, we are actually taking part in subconscious programs. Okay, so what we're actually doing is completely subconscious, reactionary. It's not coming from the thinking brain. It's coming, as I said, it's reactionary. It's a perception program. Now you've got a foundation of what I'm talking about. The tricky part about this is the subconscious mind can process 1 million bits of information more than the conscious thinking mind. So you decide, all right, it's my New Year's resolution, I'm gonna do this, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to create a better life, I'm going to stop hanging around with those toxic people, whatever it may be. But that's in your conscious mind, that's your thinking mind. And you have got another mind that is 1,000,000 times more powerful as an information processor than your thought. And then invariably what happens is we go back to the program. You know, this is why the New Year's resolutions, 99% of the time, they just don't stick. Because we go back to the program, we go back to the program, we go back to the program. So the first step on your journey, and I'm living proof of this, and this is why many of the greats begin at this point, the first step is awareness of self. Awareness of what is a protective survival mechanism when we're being artificial, and awareness of when we are expressing who we really are, the true self, these two states of being. But you don't know what you don't know, okay? So once you become aware of the predictable patterns of behavior, you are responsible for everything in your life, for everything that has happened and everything that will happen. I'll say it again. Once you are aware of these two states of being, because it's about to know thyself, okay? Knowledge of self is self-empowerment, and then you have to apply that, because knowledge that you don't apply is just like a fancy chat with the girls at the cafe, or the lads having a few beers. It makes for a nice conversation, but this is self-empowerment. We want real steps. We want to actually take action, to be the architects, the designers of our own life. The issue is, when we're not aware of these two states of being, we live out of 95 to 99% of our day from that perception program, from the subconscious mind that's reactionary. And in that state, we are victims. From the survival self, the world happens to us. That's how it feels, and that's how it is. But when you are able to break the program, you happen to the world. This is where you manifest, and you are the architect. You are consciously designing with intention, with love, with passion, the life that you want to live. So this subconscious mind, this survival self, is where all of this, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, what if I stand up and I fall over and bruise my knee, what if that business venture fails within 2.26 seconds of even thinking of it. All of this stuff is based on how we've learned to survive, and they have nothing to do with our true potential or the true self. Because when you move out of survival and into creation, you are limitless and you happen to the world. And that's very tough for some people to hear, that they're responsible and that they are actually powerful beyond measure. And as I said, until you can differentiate and bring consciousness in to these two states of being, then anything I'm saying right now would just sound like mumbo jumbo. But let me just break this down for you, in case you don't know me, in case we haven't spoken before yet, you haven't watched my YouTube coaching videos. I, from a place of severe depression, suicidal, and a drug addict, self-hate for over a decade, and believing I was worthless and not deserving love, I had critical head injuries. I crashed my car and was in a coma for over a week. I had to have my entire face completely reconstructed with titanium. And that near-death experience allowed me to just shift the lens that I view myself and I view the world. And in that place of pain, I made a decision with such firm intention. I made a decision and then took action, and was aware of, hang on, this limited state of being is just creating more of itself. Like, these choices I'm making are leading me further and further away from what I really want, rather than into the life that I desire. So I've got to change the program. I've got to change the program, and these near-death experiences are actually, it's a perfect opportunity. And most people go back to the program. My mentor said that to me. He said, Damien, most people go back to safety because it's predictable, it's comfortable, it reaffirms who you think you are. But to know of our survival and to know what we really want and what we were born to manifest, and then choose something different, that is the path to enlightenment. That's the path to being a creator and being able to say, I'm responsible for all of it. Because nothing appears in form, nothing appears in our life that doesn't begin in consciousness. Nothing. It all begins within the field, or you could call it the universe. But Albert Einstein said the sole governing agency of this reality, this universe, is the field. The sole governing agency of the particle, it's the atoms, is the field. So the more you start to know thyself, the more you empower yourself, because no one's coming to your rescue. If it is to be, it's up to you and me. We're in charge, but we are not in charge, or we're not driving the car, right? Perfect example. When we're running a program, because it's a tape player, is literally a tape that was set up early in childhood when children are highly suggestible and not analytical. And we don't need to go back in time. You don't need to sit in therapy for 14 years and talking about how broken you are. And, you know, this person did me wrong and that person did me wrong, because in doing that, for some people to go over it is okay, but to continue to rehearse the story of the past in any framework apart from that it was your deliverance, it was a gift for you, that you became stronger because of it, you have more wisdom because of it, is to embed neurologically and myelinate a victim mindset. Now this is for another video, or just jump on the channel and have a look. I've got plenty of videos on neuroscience and how the brain is actually functioning. But if you are going to change, then you will change now, in this moment. You can't go back 14 years and do anything different, or make anyone else make anything different, or not say that thing to you that hurt your feelings. You can't change that. So, to recap, we all live in two states of being. All life that has been discovered in this world, all life forms display duality of survival and creation. Okay, the cells are open, expressing homeostasis, expressing life, open for nutrients to come in, or, as I said, like the cells in the petri dish, they're moving away from a toxin. They're moving away from an external threat, a threat in the environment of the cell, but they can't move towards and away at the same time. And this was the gift that my incredible mentor gave me when I got out of intensive care, is he allowed me to understand this duality. So what I'm asking you today is, have a look at yourself, have a think, search within, take some time out. You know, take a weekend off. You don't need to be socializing this weekend. If you're on a mission of change, then you've got to sacrifice for your dreams, or else your dreams become the sacrifice. I promise you that. And ask yourself, how, what are the limiting beliefs that I'm bringing into form? What are the ways that I disempower myself or believe I'm not good enough? And being able to differentiate between the two states, when you feel you're connected to love, you're there for someone else, that compassion, your creation, your whatever it is that lights you up inside and gets you excited. And this is just your first step to start understanding the duality of our human experience, because now with awareness we can go to the next step, and I can take you the whole way through if you keep watching my YouTube videos. Energy flows where attention goes. You never put your attention on a problem because it amplifies the problem. That's the law of quantum physics. So if you guys can just smash that like button, please, hit it. Come on. That's it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Shoot this video to someone who you know who might need to hear this. Stay up to date with these videos. Keep tuning in, because I can be like your virtual coach. This is free information, and it took 13 years of my life. So I can fast track you, and you don't need to go through all the pain and a near-death experience like I did. So keep in touch. If you want to reach out to me through my website, damienhorton.com. If you want to read my book, my life story, how I did it, exactly what took place and how I did it, 45 seconds, how almost dying saved my life, reach out to me through the website. Shoot me a message. I'll get you a copy of the hard book, or else jump on Amazon, your Kindle. You can read the ebook. Up to you. From my heart to yours, sending you light, sending you love. Peace.